It has long been an urban legend that rock and roll music is filled with hidden messages. Whether the mystery comes from images on album covers, messages recorded backwards, or from the lyrics themselves, all roads lead back to the Beatles. It's been over 30 years since the Beatles supposedly hid messages, and it still captures the imagination of many fans. It all began with a phone call. On October 12, 1969, a mysterious caller named Tom called the Russ Gibb radio show in Detroit.
And, who do we have here? What's your name?
Tom on the line.
Yeah, hello, Tom. What's going down?
I was going to rant with you about McCartney being dead. What is this all about?
You heard that McCartney was dead.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom's shocking phone call would start a rumor that would grip the world. Beatle Paul McCartney was decapitated in a car wreck back in 1966, and the Paul we had seen since then was an imposter. DJ Russ Gibb pored over the clues that could be found in the Beatles' music and album covers. Crazed fans jumped on the clue-searching bandwagon.
Well, the reaction was overwhelming. I guess it's the second greatest hoax in American history, next to Orson Welles with the Martians coming into the United States.
However, fans didn't believe it was a hoax. Some believed there was an ominous force or conspiracy behind the story. Gary Patterson, author of The Walrus Was Paul, presents a stranger idea. The Beatles themselves were getting a perverse pleasure out of fueling the fire, and perhaps even hiding the clues in their album covers.
In 1967, with the release of the Magical Mystery Tour album, a lot of fans became shocked when they noticed a strange black walrus figure, one of the Beatles in costume. The rumor was that the word walrus was Greek for corpse, which wasn't true. But there was a certain mythology concerning walruses, were walruses harbingers of death. So the walrus became a major symbol of the Beatle mythology with the Paul is Dead clues.
In case the walrus clue was missed the first time around, it was resurrected on a later album.
The phrase "the walrus was Paul" comes from a line from John Lennon in Glass Onion off the White Album, where John says, "Here's another clue for you all, the walrus was Paul." But one thing you got to remember, the rumors didn't spread until '69 in October, and the White Album was released in 1968. So the even reference of hiding clues makes you maybe wonder what he was up to a year ahead of time.
When Abbey Road was released in 1969, the case that Paul was dead got some compelling evidence. The innocent-looking stroll on the album cover could be interpreted as an ominous funeral procession.
Now, the symbolism supposedly represented that John was God, or the supreme being, all in white. Ringo, either the undertaker or the minister. Paul, barefoot, with his eyes closed. He was the corpse in a funeral procession because in England, corpses are not buried with their shoes. And George in work clothes, he was the gravedigger.
And on a different kind of Beatle, an eerie message about Paul's demise.
There's a fifth Beatle on the cover, and that's the Volkswagen Beetle. If you read the license plate, it says 28 if. And Paul McCartney, according to the legend, would have been 28 if he had lived when the album was made.
To find another hidden clue, all you need isn't love, but the cover to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and a small mirror.
You take a straight-edge mirror and you place it in the center of Lonely Hearts, and it spells out a cryptic message from the reflection from the glass to the album cover. Left to right, you have numeral 1, and then O-N-E, which spells 1 again, numeral I-X, and after I-X, which is 9, you'll see He Died. And when you put it together, the 119, the two ones become 11, and the 9 would be a day, so you'd have the 11th month, 9th day, November the 9th. And what's really strange, in at least 3 other Beatles sources, they mention a strange car accident Paul McCartney may have had on November 9th, 1966.
The amateur detectives dug for every clue they could find. In the frenzy, they even discovered a few that occurred before Paul's supposed death. For example, on the cover of the Yesterday and Today album, if held at a certain angle, it appears as if Paul is lying in a coffin. But these detectives also found over 50 hidden messages that seemed planted. The most notorious were hidden backwards in the music itself.
And of course, The greatest backward track of all was the Beatles' Revolution number 9, in which a test engineer says number 9, 13 times. And when on reversal, you hear the engineer say, "Turn me on, dead man," which was supposed to be another reference to the Paul is dead rumors. And then also you can hear a car crash, you hear flames, you hear a voice that screams, "Let me out, let me out."
Paul McCartney finally squelched the rumors in late '69 with his quote in Life magazine. "The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. However, if I was dead, I'm sure I'd be the last to know."